Hey guys, welcome back to the Jungle Gym YouTube channel. Today we're reviewing one of the many leg extension and curl options available on the market today. And this one is the Fray Fitness plate-loaded leg extension and curl machine. Hey guys, this is Michael. Welcome back to the Jungle Gym YouTube channel. As always, thank you for viewing, watching, sharing, and subscribing, as all of these methods help support the channel and allow me to do concise and honest equipment reviews like this one. So today I'm reviewing the Fray Fitness plate-loaded leg extension and leg curl machine, as I haven't seen any other reviews of this specific product, and after owning about 6 different leg extension and leg curl combos over the years, I wanted to give this specific one a try. I previously owned a PowerTech bench attachment, a dedicated Pro Maxima prone plate-loaded combo, a Bolt Fitness bench attachment, Titan Fitness leg extension and curl machine V2, and now this Fray Fitness version. And fortunately, I just picked up a Nautilus Instinct dual selectorized version, for which I'll be using as my primary curl and leg extension going forward. The common theme across almost any leg extension and curl machines is that it becomes really difficult, if not impossible, to find a good footprint, resistance profile, options for user adjustability, comfort ergonomics, range of motion, ability to load heavy, and affordable price all together, or really all of those things at the same time. Certainly, almost every single one of the plate-loaded options on the market today, especially oriented for home gyms, generally fall short in at least one or two of these categories. Now, for those unfamiliar with Fray Fitness as a company, I would say they're similar to Titan Fitness in offering import products at some of the lowest costs around, and then therefore generally achieving a good price for value. This is the second product of Fray's that I've owned, along with a plate-loaded iso row machine, a clone of the hammer strength commercial version we all know and love. Both my Fray machines have been fine, although both products required me to reach out to their customer service for missing or damaged parts replacements, but the service was extremely helpful and prompt in providing a solution and shipping me the needed items. When I ordered this machine back in October 2023, it cost me $528 shipped to my door, including $100 shipping and handling in that total. Although if you live local to them in the Memphis, Tennessee area, you can pick up the items without the added shipping for any of your orders through them, which is definitely a nice plus if you're nearby. So the dimensions for this leg extension and curl machine can be found on their website with additional technical information, albeit minimal, but I would direct all questions to Fray's customer service rather than me reciting it verbatim here. The listing on the website doesn't provide the weight of the machine or the weight capacity, but simply based on other import versions and my own unofficial real-world testing, the fully assembled weight is around 80 to 90 pounds, and the weight capacity is about just as many plates as you can put on the weight horn, which is really about 3 or 4 45-pound plates depending on the thickness, which is plenty for the majority of gym owners. In regards to the design of this leg extension and curl, it's not unique and pretty much another import version of the same design floating around other retailers like Amazon and Walmart. Although I would say it's probably hard to be innovative within the boundaries of price and footprint and a tried and true plate-loaded functionality of all of these type of machines. So the build quality of this machine is definitely on the budget end, and there was a lot of slop and play in the tolerances, especially with the hinge and rotational and connecting pieces, which required a quick trip to the hardware and a small order from McMaster Carr, an online hardware supplier. I found some cheap hardware to improve some of these mechanical deficiencies to my liking. I purchased some 1-inch washer shims to fill the gap between the rotational shaft and the frame shaft mounts, improving some of the side-to-side play. I also purchased a longer spring pin or dowel, since mine kept working its way out of the hinge after weeks of repeated use. To this day, there's also still a lot of play in the seat, for which I jury-rigged an old rubber lever arm bumper to prop the seat up and into a more ergonomic and biomechanically friendly angle or position instead of being just flat. There is a large amount of play in the back pad, which I definitely consider to be outside the range of simple engineering or manufacturing tolerances for the desired movements. While using the machine, the bearings and some of the pivot points or rotational parts creak, although it doesn't impact the smoothness of the machine. The frame powder coat was also chipped in multiple areas upon arrival, despite being in new condition. Again, a product of the lackluster shipment packaging. So the fit and finish aside, thankfully the machine is functionally adequate, as I would sincerely hope for a machine at a $500 price point. However, in order to take this machine or any of the other comparable plate-loaded other manufacturer equivalents to the next level, you need to use the 35-pound plate hack. The hack is incredibly simple. You just put a 25 or 35-pound plate right on the weight peg or stopper to the weight arm, bringing the arm up and out instead of keeping it directly vertical. And now, because of physics, you have moved the lever arm perpendicular to gravity and therefore created a more even resistance curve rather than the prior, which would essentially have no resistance at the bottom of the movement. This hack works for both leg extensions and leg curls in order to provide a similarly even resistance curve. Once you have this correct resistance profile, you can get a really good pump and workout for both leg extensions and curls so that the functionality is about as good as it gets for a plate-loaded option once you configure it as such. A final functionality disclaimer, I've only been using this 35-pound plate hack method since day one, so this review and the context of my entire experience with the functionality and resistance of this plate-loaded machine is only based on utilizing this weight plate hack to improve the machine strength curve. As far as alternate options go, they are plentiful, although a few consistently pop up as the go-tos in the cheap, functional, and space-efficient matrix. Titan Fitness's leg extension and curl machine, which coincidentally enough, I actually sold to buy this Fray Fitness version, was and is overpriced in my personal opinion. I sold my version 2 of the Titan machine with the grippy vinyl because while the fit and finish on that machine was miles better than this one, it was extremely uncomfortable and downright painful for me to use due to the location of the pad resting across my small but meaty thighs rather than right above your knees like most commercial leg curl options I've used in the past. Every other import brand like GMWD and Sidi, which I always see sold at Amazon and Walmart, are the same as this, but I picked the Fray one specifically due to the center, leg roller ergonomics, and position. Then there are bench attachment options like Bolt Fitness, which served me well for quite some time, or a power rack attached version like Titan and a million other options I've seen pop up recently. And the rack attached options are typically more of an afterthought, and I would really only consider those if space is the main concern to you. Gronk Fitness is the new, seemingly better quality and engineering brand I'm interested in. It's about the same price as the Titan version, but seems a step up in the design and functionality than some of these alternative options. Then you have unique, multi-purpose options like the Bulletproof Fitness Isolator, which is another great engineering and space-saving option, but I think falls short in the resistance curve category until you can find a creative solution to fix. The initial price is almost nearly $1,000 with shipping, so like I said, almost every single one of these options I've listed so far, you have to pick some features or price or space-saving options, but not all combined in this $500 or so price range. The only consideration that would be a significant step above any of these machines is the jump to a selectorized version. But without getting to test some of the newer budget offerings like SFE Fitness, Bolt Fitness, and the upcoming Titan and Bells of Steel versions, I can't confidently say they're worth the proportional price jump into that $1,500 to $2,000 plus range. So, after 6 months of frequent use, here's my overall rating of the Fray leg extension and curl machine. Overall, the machine is decent in the context of all the prior mentioned pros, cons, and other options, although I don't know that it distinguishes itself enough from any of those other manufacturers to really be a top pick of the lot. The fit and finish of my machine is really what is lacking. My seat doesn't fully line up parallel to the knee brace or leg extension curl pad. The seat angle or adjustments themselves really aren't great and would be subpar unless I have found my alternative DIY option to prop the seat up to the correct angle. But some people might not be as picky as me there. The wiggle of the seat and back pads is annoying, but not a deal breaker for me since it functions just fine as a leg extension and curl. And at the end of the day, I can deal with all the other quirks as long as my legs get a good workout. Overall, it's easy to use, and I still get a crazy pump for both leg extensions and curls, and it's relatively quick to switch between movements. The padding seems to be pretty durable and is definitely more comfortable padding than the Titan leg extension and leg curl that I had. At $525, I do think it is overpriced, and if I were to be in the market for this type of machine again, I would choose literally any Amazon equivalent brand as long as it has an ergonomically correct leg curl brace location, since it was probably made in the same place as this one and is a couple $100 cheaper. At the end of the day, if you want a noticeable upgrade, I would really suggest people looking to spend $500 to $1,000 to find a selectorized used commercial version. But let me know if in the future you would want me to review one of these entry-level selectorized ones and which one. If you have any specific questions on this leg extension and curl machine, please comment down below and I'll be happy to answer or at least try. I appreciate you tuning in to this review of the Fray Fitness plate-loaded leg extension and leg curl combo. Please like, subscribe, and turn on notifications to support the channel and see more quick and honest reviews like this come in the future. Stay tuned for next time. Thank you.